So good day everyone. So for today's video, I'm going to teach you on how to find the coordinates of special angles. Okay, or you're going to find the coordinates or the x and y of a given angle. So for example, you have 135 degrees. Okay, so first, you're going to identify which quadrant 135 belongs. So you're going to draw. So for example, we have a circle here. We have right here. So we have 0, we have 90 here. Then we have, okay, as if that we have 180 in the left corner. So 180, so approximately, so here in this side, right? So and we can in that side, so we can conclude that we have after finding the quadrant, so 135 degrees belongs to quadrant 2. So we have now a basis which is our x and y. So the x value of quadrant 2, which is the positive, and I know we have negative. Then our y values, we have positive. So in the second quadrant, so after identifying the 135 degrees, the quadrant of 135 degrees, so we have the basis of negative and positive of x and y values, right? So after finding the quadrant and the basis of the x and y, you are going to find the reference angle. So what is the reference angle of 135 degrees? So I know that you know how to find the reference angle because in my previous video, I already posted on how to find the reference angle of a specific angle. So in 135 degrees, so in that degrees, you're going to subtract 180 degrees minus 135, right? Because that is the formula of finding a reference angle. And the reference angle of 135 degrees, right? 135 degrees, we have 45 degrees, right? So why 45 degrees? So you're going to subtract 180 by 135. Then why we subtract 180? Because 135 degrees belongs to second quadrant, right? And the formula in finding the reference angle, it is the positive acute angle between the x-axis and the terminal side of the given angle, right? So it is the nearest or the acute or the nearest x-axis. So what is the nearest x-axis of 135 degrees? So 180, and we have a formula in finding a reference angle. So you're going to automatic subtract 180 degrees to 135 degrees. So we have now a reference angle of 135 degrees, right? So after finding the basis of x and y, finding the reference angle which is the 45 degrees, now we can conclude that we have a cos 45 degrees and sine 45 degrees. So you are going to find the value of cos 45 degrees and sine 45 degrees. So where you can find the value of that trigonometric function. So you can find it into your trigonometric ratios of some particular angle. So if you can memorize it, so it's good for you, but you can just look for the value for the specific trigonometric function. So when we said cos 45 degrees, so cos 45 degrees, by the way, the cosine, okay, the cosine is our x value, then the y value is the sine, right? So the value of cos 45 degrees So we have square root of 2 over 2, right? 2 over 2. And the value of sine 45, so the value of sine 45, it is also square root of 2, square root of 2 over 2. So now we have a coordinates of, cos 45, or we have now a x and y, right? So I know we have a square root of 2 over 2, then square root of 2 over 2. But remember, we have a basis of negative and a positive. Now, in answering the final answer, so we have the coordinates. So we have negative square root of 2 over 2, then square root of 2 over 2. So why it is not all positive, but the equivalent value of cos and sine 45 is positive? It because we have a basis for 135 degrees because it belongs to second quadrant, which is the value of x and y are negative and positive. So that's why, so negative, it belongs here, then the positive belongs here, right? So that is the steps in finding is special angles or angles of a specific angle. So another example. So for example, we have 210 degrees. So 210 degrees. So first, you're going to find which quadrant or where quadrant that 210 belongs. So you're going to draw. So here, you have 0, you have 90 degrees, 0 degrees, 180 degrees, then you have here a 180, you have 270, right? So you're going to illustrate, or you're going to imagine 210. So 210 approximately it belongs here, right? I have here 210 degrees. So that is not the exact exact location, but in our it is approximately. So now we have a basis of our x value. Okay, so we have x value, so we have negative, then the y value is negative also, right? Why? Just imagine in Cartesian plane, so in the right side it's positive, right? And the left side we have negative, and the upper side positive, and the lower side negative, right? So we have now a basis of negative and negative. So next, after having a basis of negative and negative, so now you're going to find the coordinates. You're going to find the reference angle. So in this case, the formula in finding the reference angle is you're going to subtract again. You're going to subtract the 210 minus 180 degrees. So this is the answer. So we have a 30 degrees. So why we subtract? Because 210 is bigger than 180 degrees, and in the definition of reference angle, it is the positive acute angle or x value, right? So we have 30 degrees. So we are now going to find the value of the trigonometric function, which is cos 30 degrees and sine 30 degrees. Okay? Okay. So, okay, let's go back. We have cos 30 degrees and sine 30 degrees. So, look for the value of cos and sine 30 degrees. So, cos 30 degrees. So, we have square root of 3 over 2. Then, sine 30 degrees, we have 1 half. But, we have a basis of negative and negative, right? Then, so in writing the final answer, you have a coordinates of negative square root of 3 over 2, comma, then negative 1 half. So that is the coordinates of the special angles, or the angle of 210 degrees. So that is the formula in finding the coordinates. So first, you're going to find which quadrants it belongs. Then you're going to use the x and y as a basis, right? Then after having a basis, you're going to find the reference angle. Then after finding the reference angle, you're going to use the cos and sine trigonometric function, and you're going to find the value of that trigonometric function into trigonometric ratio. Then after having a value, you're going to find the and you have the value of the coordinates with the basis. Then for example, the value of cos 30 is negative already. Then 1 half is negative. So automatic, the value in writing the final answer, so this negative 3, square root of 3 over 2 would become positive. Then this negative 1 half will become positive also. So it is the matter of the value of the trigonometric ratio, but that is lang, for example. But in trigonometric ratio from 0 degrees to 90 degrees, so we don't have a negative answer. So it is all in positive. It will matter in the quadrant and your basis in your quadrant. So I hope you clearly understand on how to find the coordinates of a angle. So in the next video, in my next tutorial, so we're going to graph a special angles with their coordinates. So thank you.